straight over from the United stand. That's how quick it can be done. So apologies if I'm a bit late. This was just going to be a laid-back sort of transfer show discussing transfers, but I've just been live on the United stand talking about Bruno Fernandes to Manchester United and the advancement of that deal with Sky Sports talking about that on their breaking. So make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're new. Lovely background behind me, look at that. So yeah, what I wanted to talk about on this video was just a little bit about Manchester United also losing a bit of ground. And I think even with Bruno Fernandes sort of potentially coming to Manchester United, is that enough in itself? There's talk of Sean Longstaff, who actually currently is only recovering from a knee injury. So I think that's a long-term signing for United. But of course, United lost Ander Herrera, Marouane Fellaini, so you need to be bringing in quality players. And as we look at other clubs, I want to bring them in as well. I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Arsenal apparently were bidding for Wilfried Zaha. I do believe Arsenal will get that deal done. The interesting thing about that is if they do sign Zaha for his value, and I've got to say, I don't know about you lot, but I think that I do think that that is a green screen picture behind me, actually. Yeah, I've just changed it. But with regards to Arsenal, if they pay 60 million for Wilfried Zaha, then Manchester United get 15 because we've got a 25% fee that comes to us, which is interesting. And Arsenal are struggling. You know, we can all joke that they want to pay 5 million for Zaha and 55 million in Amazon vouchers that expire tomorrow, but it is a problem for Arsenal in relation to money. Lachlan Oberg says, how much should we pay for Bruno and would we bid low? I mean, I've just been talking about that. Bruno Fernandes is probably worth about 70 million. I have a feeling United might get him for as little as 55, which would be a very, very good deal. De Ligt is a ridiculous one, Tomar. I mean, me and Dorty were talking about De Ligt earlier. What's going on with De Ligt? Is he still... And is there any chance of him coming to Manchester United? And I feel it's a big fat no. But yeah, I mean, imagine if we still were in for De Ligt legitimately. You'd be really pissed off. I mean, it's been going on for weeks and weeks and weeks. But yeah, we'll start off with Arsenal then. So maybe they will get Zaha. Torreira leaving Arsenal's massive, isn't it? I must admit, I was really impressed with Torreira in the first half of the season last year. And maybe he's unsettled and he wants to go back to Italy and that's what it was all about. But I see Arsenal are going to struggle next year. I mean, they're a team that's in progress anyway under Emery, and they just don't have the money. And that's where Manchester United come in again, because I think, you know, obviously Manchester United finished below Arsenal last year, but then the situation is that even though Arsenal finished above United, I think they're going to struggle to do it again because Arsenal don't have any money and United do. I mean, there was this nonsense story going around a few weeks ago. I think it was ESPN and Mark Ogden, I think, said it, that United have only got £100 million to spend. I mean, it's just bollocks. You know, you can always be negative and say, oh, you know, this, that, and the other. And I must admit, I've been a little bit concerned as a United fan as to how slow we are with deals, but Liverpool fans probably feel the same. They've bought nobody yet. Man City, Spurs hadn't bought anyone for 2 years, and then they go and get Ndombele. It can change very, very, very quickly. But I think United have got 200 million. At least 200 million to spend, and they're clearly going to do that. 15 million on Daniel James, 50 on Wan-Bissaka, probably another 80 on Maguire, maybe another 55 on Bruno Fernandes. And doesn't that roughly bring it into about 200 million? So yeah, I think that's what it is all about, really. Arsenal apparently have only got 40 million. It is my house, but I mean, look, that's just a garden. And to be fair, the wife, if anybody goes back to the videos last year and looks at that garden, it was terrible. She had a lot of work put on it in the last while, and it's looking quite nice at the moment. But what do you think about Man United? Matthew Williams kid says football every day. I'm not aware of that, mate. The shirt is just a t-shirt. I've had it for quite a while, and this is the famous fruit seller t-shirt. I had this on when I was attacked. I get flashbacks every time I wear it. No, put the knife away. But look, Arsenal, I think, are going to struggle in the transfer window. I think Wilfried Zaha would be a good signing for them, but they need a lot more than that. And I don't think they will bring a lot more than that. On Wilfried Zaha, for me, he's worth 70 million because if Wan-Bissaka's worth 50, Zaha's about in his mid-20s and he's an attacker. So yeah, I think that's what he's worth. What about Trups and Rashford? Says Captain's Dear 07. I don't know what that means. And Lachlan Oberg, what's happening with Pepe? I don't know. I mean, Nicola Pepe is an interesting one. I think he'd be very good for Manchester United, but apparently he favours a move to Inter or Liverpool. Nabil Fekir, is he going to end up at Liverpool or not? But Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea's big signing's their manager, isn't it? When are they going to get Lampard? That's what Chelsea are all about at the moment. They're not going to sign anybody because they've got a transfer ban, which hinders them as well. Then it brings you on to what I believe are the top 4 clubs now: Manchester United, Spurs, Liverpool and Manchester City. And people will say, you finished 6th last year, but that last year is last year, isn't it? And this year is this year. And I feel that Manchester United are the 4th best club with the squad that we've got, with a manager who's going to train them properly over the summer and not have a lazy team, and with the money he's got to spend. Even Arsenal and Chelsea fans should admit that United should be finishing above them. And if you don't, then they're great. Rodri has apparently just been announced for Manchester City. Well, that was one of the players I wanted to talk about anyway. Do Man City need to really improve massively? Look, they're miles ahead of everybody else. I think what Liverpool did last year was absolutely amazing. To get that close to the title was amazing, because Man City are a very, very good side. Do they need to improve much? No, but they're going to bring a centre-back in. They may even get Harry Maguire. I don't think they will. I think Harry Maguire will come to Manchester United. I said that yesterday lunchtime. United will just outbid Man City. That's not worked well with Fred and Sanchez, so hopefully third time lucky. Rodri is a good midfielder, a very, very good midfielder for Manchester City. Fits in with exactly the sort of thing that Pep wants to do. Adding it in, I mean, look, Man City are probably going to win the league again, 3 in a row, equaling Manchester United's Premier League record of 3 in a row. They're the team to sort of catch, and they've obviously got money to spend as well. But Rodri's a good signing for them. Liverpool, I don't know about Liverpool. I mean, there's talk about Liverpool not going to spend that much money, but then there's people like Nicolas Pepe, who would cost about 60 million, and there is Nabil Fekir, who is going to leave, and maybe that will be Liverpool's business, around 100 million quid. But, I mean, Liverpool will be a threat next season. The fruit seller was off his nuts, as Kalachi came in, he definitely was. And Spurs, and Dembele, I don't care what anybody says. Of course he can flop. We've seen Bakayoko flop, but I don't think Dembele will. I think if Dembele was at Manchester United, as United fans would be talking about winning the league. He's a fantastic player. And I've got to say, when Spurs signed Dembele, I was like, and I did it for about 2 minutes, just staring at the screen going, fair play. I wouldn't do that for Liverpool, and I wouldn't do it for Man City, but I like Spurs in some ways, and I think they've endured, not spending money, and they got to a Champions League final. Pochettino is the best pound-for-pound manager in the league, and now we're going to see him spend a bit of money, and I think, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with money. Do you actually think we'll try and get Bale, says Lachlan Oberg? I think, just finishing up with Spurs, I think they'll bring Lo Celso in from Argentina. Obviously, they've been knocked out last night in the Copa America. He will be another good signing for them. I think Spurs do still lack a lot of depth. I think that's their problem. If Harry Kane gets injured, who plays up front? Width-wise, they're a little bit weak. Alderweireld, just on Alderweireld, actually, there was, from a United point of view, as we moved from Spurs to United, a few people again talking about Alderweireld. Well, Alderweireld's available now for 25 million quid. I think the reason United aren't looking at him is the age, which I can't moan about, because that was the thing I've said for over a year now. Alderweireld at 31, it's not long term. We're meant to be rebuilding. So I totally and utterly agree with that. Keychino says, I like this show. It's really laid back. I like doing them. So smash a like and make sure you subscribe, because the more views and interaction and subscribers it gets, the more I'll do it. But because I like doing the laid back stuff. You're going to get a week of this on the United stand, by the way. This is part of the reason why I'm doing the video today, because I've got a new phone and I needed to check its reliability. So you'll get some of these tomorrow. When I go on my holidays, you're going to get a week of this, and I'm going to go and find that fruit seller because I'm going to the same beach. But yeah, look, you know what? With Manchester United and Alderweireld, I think he just doesn't fit into what United are trying to do, which is like Rakitic as well. 31, not going to happen. I think United need to be looking longer term, and that's why we're not looking at Alderweireld. But I also think that just because Alderweireld's got the £25 million release clause doesn't mean that Alderweireld comes to Manchester United. I remember listening to Alderweireld a month ago, and it sounded to me like he was going to stay at Spurs but not sign a contract, so that in a year's time he can go wherever he wants with a massive signing on fee. So yeah, it's I am going back to Mallorca. End of the month, Kieran. And what about Manchester United then? So look, Wan-Bissaka's done. Daniel James is done. Bruno Fernandes, I think, will be done in the next couple of weeks. Really pleased that we've got a bit of momentum with that. I do believe Harry Maguire will be our centre-back, and I'm pretty happy with that. Again, I was talking to Draughty about this afternoon. He agrees with me that Harry Maguire is a good signing for Manchester United because, look, I understand he's not glamorous, right? But what the reason I think some United fans don't want Harry Maguire, and Rodri has been confirmed to City, which is a good signing for them. The reason some Manchester United fans don't want Harry Maguire is because he's not glamorous, right? And they want a top-class, world-class midfield centre-back. What I meant was that Troop's Iwobi was better than Rashford. Troop said Iwobi was better than Rashford, says Capitano 07. He's talking shit. Absolute shite. Iwobi's crap. But look, with Harry Maguire, I mean, somebody just said he's slow. He's brilliant in the air. He's a bit of a leader. He doesn't make many mistakes, and he's proven both international and at Premier League level. And if we don't get Maguire, who will partner Lindelof, says Sean Byrne. I think that's exactly the problem. Of course, I would like us to sign Koulibaly. Of course, but Koulibaly's a world-class centre-back. Are Manchester United a world-class side? No. We're the 6th best team in England in the Europa League. We've got no divine right to attract world-class players. So Harry Maguire, whilst not being a world-class centre-back, he's certainly in the top 20 stroke, maybe even 10 centre-backs in the world. For us now, and what we're trying to do, Harry Maguire befits what Manchester United need to do. So we'll see. Is Ollie being hidden from the press till more signings, says Resi Desi 11? No, apparently Ollie's first press conference will be next week. We're doing it, so we'll see it. And traditionally, that's when he normally does it as well. So that's when we will see him. I'm getting really hot because I'm in the conservatory, and it's getting hot, so I'm gonna have to end this stream. But it's gone very, very well. I will do more of them. What is the momentum with Bruno Fernandes? Says Logic. Go and watch the United stand. I've just put it up on there. That's where you're going to get it. Longstaff I would put up with at United as long as we get Bruno Fernandes. Yes, I would put up with that. But thanks everybody for watching. Just a quick tour de force of the transfer window there, and also a test pilot run for me on this new phone. Zed Gamer highlight says James left wing, Martial striker, Rashford right wing. Maybe that's Ollie's plan. Maybe that's why the right wing positions isn't about to be filled. I don't think we will sign a right winger, to be honest. If you want my predictions on United's transfer window at the moment, I think, Arsenal I think will get Zaha, and that'll be it. Chelsea will get nobody. Spurs will get another midfielder, Lo Celso, and that'll be it. Liverpool I think will get Pepe and maybe Fekir. Man City will probably get a centre-back and Rodri, and I think United will get James, Wan-Bissaka, Fernandes, Longstaff, Maguire, and I think that'll be it. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you at 8 o'clock tonight on the United Stand. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're new. I'll see you all soon.